All right, my dears, we're here in Yoga Church at Wilder Webb on Whidbey Island in Freeland. This is Colby. I love Colby. And today we are going to get into our legs and our quads and just sort of feel that grounding nature that the legs have, the ability to connect us to earth, the ability to allow us to be really present. So one of the things that we do all the time and often don't think about is walk around, right? And often we're rushing. And if there's one real true gift of COVID, it's been that many of us have taken the time, we've been forced to slow down. So we've been considering more how we walk along the earth. Are we rushing? I remember reading Thich Nhat Hanh said once that when we rush around, we're imprinting sorrow on the earth. And I thought, ooh, yikes, how many of us all the time rush around? At that point, when I read that, I was really rushing around a lot. And so he said we should walk as if our feet are kissing the earth. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love the idea that us slowing down and being really present and mindful in our walk could imprint peace on the earth, could imprint happiness on the earth, joy on the earth, could be an offering. And you know, when I think about when I trip or fall or anything that happens like an accident, it's always because I'm not paying attention, I'm rushing around. And so when we become really mindful in how we're walking, it's magical. Magic can open up to us. Suddenly we'll feel the wind in a way that brings about that sensation of being connected to the wind. The sun on our back can feel magical. It can feel like it is healing us. It's inviting all of our cells to regenerate. We can feel and really notice the sounds of the forest, or if you're in the city, you know, the sounds that are all around you. And it's such a gift to be present. So the more often that we do these practices like yoga, asana, meditation, pranayama, mantra, all the practices of yoga that help us to get present, the more we can remember that when we're off the mat, when we're just washing the dishes, that could become an act of service. That could become a prayerful act. Taking a sip of water definitely could be a prayerful act. May all people have fresh, clear water to drink. Walking can be a prayerful act. So today, as we really ground down and get into our legs and our quads, there's bound to be some discomfort, especially if you're used to rushing and you're drawn to vinyasa because you don't like to sit still. There's bound to be an edge that you'll push up against. Maybe you won't want to stay in chair pose, or maybe you'll be like, oh, this is too hard. Who knows what will come up? But my invitation is to notice those narratives, notice those stories, notice those sensations. And can we be present with them? Can we not try to push them away or fix them or shame ourselves for having them, but just notice and return to what a gift it is to be in this body exactly as this body is. What a gift. What a privilege. What an honor we have to get to walk around on this land at this really strange and potent time in our history. What an amazing time we are alive in. And so we'll bring our palms to our heart in any shape that feels potent right now. And maybe just for a moment, we can offer a dedication to this practice, for this practice. So if you have a personal intention that you're working with now, would be the time to state it. May this practice serve as an offering so that we can remain present, even and especially when we feel that sensation of wanting to rush, wanting just to get through, bubble up within us. Can we allow ourselves to ground down and breathe and be present in the moment? And in that way, we begin to train ourselves to settle our nervous system, to remain present with what's not comfortable, to remain present no matter what our situation is. And in that small way, we create more peace in our own nervous systems, more peace in our interpersonal relationships, and more peace at large, being better advocates of peace in the world. One Om together, deep breath in. All right, my dears, we're going to start on our backs. And as we come onto our backs here, we'll bring our right leg up to the sky. And see if you can point your toes and then flex your feet. Point your toes and then flex your feet. Point your toes, flex your feet, point your toes, flex your feet, and continue a few times like that. And just notice what's tight, what feels already kind of open, what feels stiff. What part of your foot wants to flex? When I look at my foot, it's the big toe side. The pinky toe side doesn't want to flex as much, so just noticing that. And then we're going to take this leg slightly out to the right. Just slightly, draw your belly in. And then across the body and just slightly over to the left. Draw your belly in. And slightly out to the right. And then slightly over to the left. And slightly out to the right. And slightly over to the left. And then each time we do this, we'll continue. We're going to go a little bit more. So a little bit more to the right. Not to the furthest expression. You really want to keep your left hip grounded. A little more over to the left. We'll flex our foot for the next 3. And then let's point our toes for 3. Do you feel any muscles in your legs starting to work? Mm-hmm. Now the next time you're way out to the right, go down towards your other foot, over to the left, way up towards your head, and out to the right. So in essence, we're making a very large circle. Drawing the belly in, keeping your left hip grounded. We're going slow. Then go large the other direction. And do you feel your quads or your hip flexors? Notice, what are you feeling? Try to stay present with it, especially if you're starting to feel strong sensation. Can you breathe? Great, and then flex your foot, medium circles. Notice the sensation, how it might have changed by flexing the foot. I feel my hip flexor more. Interesting. And then the other direction. And then point your toe, small circles. I guess I just feel my hip flexor. And then the other direction. Do you feel yours?
Yeah.
Is it terrible? Yeah, it is, right? Okay, and then half happy baby. So here as this right leg goes into half happy baby, let's straighten the left leg and point and flex the left foot. Okay, and then we'll release that right leg down, stretch through that heel, reach your right arm up overhead. Let's bend the left knee and place the left foot on the floor, stretching that right hip flexor. So really flex through the heel, reach the right arm up overhead, draw the belly in. And then the left leg goes up. Right knee can bend a little or be straight. We're taking the left leg just a little bit out to the left, and then a little bit over to the right, and a little bit out to the left, and a little bit over to the right. Keep drawing the belly in. So we're moving pretty slow on purpose here. And just trying to stay present with how sensation shifts and changes, and also what might be remaining the same. And we'll just go a little bit further now, further to the left, further to the right, but also keeping that right hip down. And then we'll flex our foot for the next 3. Open, over to the right. Open, over to the right. Open, over to the right. Then we'll point our toes for 3. Open, over to the right. Open, over to the right. Open, over to the right. Now next time it's open, down by the other foot, way over to the right, up and over by your head, huge circles. We'll flex our foot. And then point our toe. And then go the other direction, big, slow circles, keeping the toe pointed. And then flex your foot. And then medium circles. Keep the foot flexed. And point your toe. Go the other direction. Medium circles. Notice the difference between sides. Like this side for me is so much less intense. And then small circles, flex the foot. Other direction. Point your toe. And then half happy baby on this side. And we'll really reach through that left, the right heel as the left knee goes down by the ribs. You might point and flex the right toes a few times. And then we'll bend that right knee, place it flat, straighten the left leg, reach the left arm up overhead, reach through the left heel. Both legs go up to the sky. Point your toes. Begin small circles one direction. Belly strong. Medium circles. Large circles. Only as large as your hips aren't going cattywampus. You're grounded, you're rooted. Might be not as large as you can do with one leg. And then go the other direction. As large as you can. And then medium. Small. And then flex your feet. Small the other way. Medium. Large. Feeling it yet, Coles? Ugh, idiots. And then large the other direction with your heels. Medium. I love my legs, I love my legs, I love my legs, I love my legs, and small. And soles of the feet come together. Reach for the edges of your feet or your ankles. Draw your heels in towards your groin. And breathe. Beautiful legs, so strong, so agile. Allowing us to walk and run and dance. Happy baby pose. And release. Come over to one side and up to hands and knees. And we'll inhale into our cow shape. And exhale into cat. Staying for an inhale here. And exhale back to cow. So several times in that way. Inhale here. Exhale, cat. Staying for the inhale. Exhale back to cow. Two more. Your own pace. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Hips go high, heels go low. So bend your knees dramatically. From that kind of dramatic knee bend, lift your sitting bones up. And then feel the low back have its natural curve the best you can. Wrap your triceps in towards your ears. Straighten one leg, keep the other knee bent. And then notice, can you still lift your sitting bones? And then switch sides. Still lifting the sitting bones, nice. And then both heels go down, but they probably won't come all the way to the floor. Try to still lift your sitting bones. Awesome, Colby. Take 4 more breaths here. Then, my friends, we'll walk our hands back to our feet. Hands back to the feet. Grabbing opposite elbows, bend your knees a little, let your head hang. Then rise all the way up. Palms to the heart. So with your palms at your heart, try to walk really slowly, heel toe to the top of the mat, really feeling the articulation of each foot as you go. And then as you arrive, look down at your feet. Notice your stance. Is one foot in front of the other? Mine is. I notice I started with my right foot, and my right foot is a little in front of my left. So it's interesting to notice. We'll even the feet the best we can. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, long spine. Step your right toes back. Dip your hips and lift your heart. Breathe in. Straighten the left leg. Breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Plank. Knees could come down. Shift forward. Bend your elbows. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. Again, lifting the sitting bones. More important than if your heels touch. Engage the front of your legs. Lift your quads away from your knees. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Opposite elbows hang. Then rise up. Palms to your heart. So I know I started with my right foot the last time. I'm going to purposely start with my left foot. Walking slowly, articulating the feet, heel to toe, all the way to the top of the mat. When you arrive, look down. My feet are more even. Interesting. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left toes back. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the right leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Plank. Knees could come down. Chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Nice, Colby. Okay, walk your hands back to your feet. Fold forward at the back of the mat. Rise all the way up, inhale. And palms to your heart. Begin with your right foot, walk forward, heel to toe. Try not to look at your feet. Look straight ahead or close your eyes. Look straight ahead or close your eyes. And as you get to the top of the mat, chair pose. And as you come to chair pose, you might look at your feet and just notice. Great, so allow your butt to have its full area code. So really stick your butt out. Yep, notice the natural curve of your low back. Now draw the front of your ribs in. Bring your shoulders back over your hips. Yeah, your shoulders back. Yep, lift the heart up. And then see if you can touch your palms together at the top. Maybe your arms are just a little in front of you. So you can look up and see your hands. Awesome. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Come on to the right side for side plank. Now, right knee could be down. You could stagger your feet. You could stack your feet. You could keep your left hand at your hip or lift it up. You might look down. You might really challenge yourself, draw your ribs in and look up. Back to plank. Onto the left side, side plank. So you could stagger your feet. You could put the left knee down even if you didn't do so on the right side. You could stack your feet. You could look down. Or you could challenge yourself and look up. You could flex through both feet. Coming back to plank. Knees could come down. Shift forward. Chaturanga. You might lower halfway down. Awesome. Cobra or upward facing dog. Big inhale. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees enough to let the sitting bones lift. Yes, to keep that natural curve in your low back is most important. Great. Hands walk back to the feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Rise all the way up. Palms to the heart. And then slowly walk with your left foot leading, your eyes either closed or looking straight ahead. Once you make your way to the top of the mat, chair pose. Try to come to the pose and then look at your feet and just see what you naturally did. Palms might touch at the top. You might look up. Inhale here. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Step back plank. Onto the left side, side plank. Left side, side plank. Back to plank. Onto the right side, side plank. Back to plank. Shift forward. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. This time, step your right foot forward, then your left foot forward fold at the top of the mat. You step your right foot all the way forward. Yep. And then left foot forward fold. Awesome. Yep. Chair pose. Palms might touch. Shoulders go down. Belly goes in. Breathe in. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Great. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Try to step your left foot all the way forward and then your right foot. Awesome. Forward fold. Great. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose. Palms might touch. Breathe in. Fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Breathe in. Downward facing dog. Breathe out. Right foot steps forward between the hands, followed by the left foot. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Bow again. Chair pose. Palms might touch. Breathe in. Fold over your legs. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps all the way forward. Then the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose. Now, palms might touch. Stay in chair. Lift your right foot up. Knee toward the chest. And then fly it out, warrior three, but keep a bend to the standing leg. Keep a bend to the standing leg. Excellent. You might have your palms at your heart, or you might reach them out in front. Bring your outer right hip down. Keep your left knee bending. So good. Land back, crescent lunge. High on the tiptoes of the back foot. Bending that back knee. Now scissor the legs back to front. Yeah, so that left outer hip draws back, right hip draws forward. Awesome. And then from here, with the tail almost tucked, almost, yeah? Look up. Maybe your palms can come together. Begin to lift the heart. The back of the shoulder blades come in so good. And then maybe straighten that back leg and push through the heel. Great. Keep allowing the shoulders to come into the body, the heart to lift up. One more breath in. Frame the front foot. Come onto your right side, side plank. Yep. Inhale here. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing. Step your right foot forward and then your left. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose. Keep that nice bend to your knees, really root down. Feel your quads working. Lift your left knee up toward your chest And then fly it back to warrior three, but keep the right knee bent. It's challenging, yeah? Challenging, muscle energy. Take your outer left hip down. You could even point your left toes if you wanted. And then gently land crescent lunge, bending the back knee, slightly tucking the tail, lifting up through the heart. The palms could touch. And then from that place of the heart lifting up and the front ribs drawing in, you might straighten the back leg, engage the quad, and push through the heel. Continuing to invite the heart up, the shoulder blades in, and that scissor action back to front. Nice, Colby, yes. So drawing that right hip back, lifting up through the heart. So good, breathe in. Frame the front foot. Side plank on the left. Side plank on the left. Deep breath in here. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward between the hands, then the right, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Palms to your heart. Twist to your right where your left elbow might go outside that right knee, or it might stay suspended. It might stay up higher. See what feels useful to you. Yeah, it might stay up higher, which could be harder, right? Spin the heart up, shoulders back. From here, keep that right knee bent. Lift the left toes towards your butt. Point your toes. Step that left foot back to a twisted lunge. Great. From here, strong through that left quad. The left quad is lifting. The right hip draws back. The heart lifts up. The belly draws in. Open your hands high to low if you can. Yep. Deep breath in. Frame that front foot. Left side, side plank. Deep breath in. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward and then the right. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose. And palms to your heart. Twist to your left where you could put that right elbow outside the left knee, or you could suspend them, which is really challenging. Yeah, it's a lot of core. So if you have that hook wherever the elbow is, allow yourself to spin the heart up, draw the belly in, bring your right toes towards your butt, point the toes. And then extend that leg back to a twisted lunge, exactly. Engage the back quad. And then draw the left outer hip back. Maybe you open your arms high to low. Taking a few breaths here. Feeling the power, the strength in your legs. Gratitude for these incredible legs. Frame the front foot. Side plank on the right side. Side plank on the right side. Take a deep breath in. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Shift high onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees a lot. Exhale all the air out. And see if you might be able to hop forward between your hands, or maybe you walk there. Nice. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Arms open to either side. Right arm goes under. Eagle arms. We're going to pause here for a breath or two, bringing the elbows away from the chest and the fingertips high, sinking deep into that chair. And then rooting down through your left foot, take that right leg up and over. Keep the left knee bent. Maybe you just squeeze your thighs together. Maybe that foot can wrap around your calf. Just see what works. Draw your outer right hip back just a smidge. Take a few breaths here. Eagle pose, Garudasana. Ruda, the golden eagle, vehicle of Vishnu, the sustainer of life. Now keep your eagle arms and fly your right leg back through warrior three. Keep your left knee bent. Take your outer right hip down. Then step that foot back to crescent lunge foot with eagle arms. Scissor your legs, draw that outer left hip back, bend the knee over the ankle. Begin to lift the heart. Maybe you could imagine your forearms are going to go straight up to the ceiling. Inviting in that back bend, begin to straighten the back leg. Engage the quad, push through the heel, keep bending the left knee over the ankle as best you can. One more huge breath here. Back foot goes to warrior two. Keep your eagle arms. Open your hips. Open your hips. Open your hips. Allow your torso to face the long edge of your mat. Great. Back foot could be at 90 degrees. Nice. Bend that left knee. Elbows away from the chest. Fingertips high. Breathe into the back body. Humble warrior with eagle arms. Left shoulder goes inside the left knee, head goes in the hands. Won't stay terribly long here, just that sensation, of course, of the left hip. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel that strong foundation. Keep your eagle arms. Have both feet face the long edge of your mat. Straighten both legs. Fold forward. Eagle arms. Head might go to the earth. It might be nowhere near the earth. Wherever you are is just right. Feel that strong sensation of being rooted through your legs, your feet. Heel toe your feet a little tiny bit closer to you. Keep the heels in, toes out, bend your knees, goddess pose with eagle arms. Can you come from the ground up? Nice. Release your head. Notice the weight on your heels. Lift the toes you have. Bring your toes gently back down and lift your heels. So good. Heels down, straighten arms, straighten legs, reach out, star pose. Woo! Warrior two toward the front. Crazy. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, downward facing dog, your way, your way. So my friends, like slowing down, noticing the breath, noticing sensation. That's the level 3 practice in my opinion. You know, I don't think any practices should have levels, but when we talk about advanced practices, We have this image in our mind of people standing on their pinkies or something, you know, some crazy contorted circus-like pose. But the true advanced practice, in my opinion, is just staying present with what is. Staying present when we have our narratives arise. Staying present when we have strong sensation arise. Staying present when we have emotions arise. All of that, just staying present, training our breath. It doesn't even matter what your body is physically doing. If you're breathing and being present with it, you're practicing yoga in an advanced way. Walker, hop now to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Keep that chair. Arms out to either side. Left arm goes under for eagle arms. We're staying with our feet how they are for a moment. And the elbows move away from the chest and the fingertips high. The breath is at the back of the heart. And then rooting down through the right foot. Really feel the whole right foot as the left leg comes up and over. Maybe you squeeze your thighs together. Maybe you wrap your foot. Whatever works on this side for your body. Draw your outer hip, left hip back a tiny bit. Yeah. And we'll stay in this eagle pose for a few breaths. Eagles and what they represent: clear sight. The ability to see above the storm. They fly above the storm, see a broad perspective. Keeping your eagle arms, flying that left leg through warrior three. We're going to try to keep the right knee bent, yes. It's challenging, yeah. You might lengthen out, and then step that left foot back. Crescent lunge foot, eagle arms. Scissor your legs. Drawing that right hip back. Then the right knee over the ankle. Lift the elbows away from the chest. Imagine your forearms are going to go up to the sky. You're going to back them. And then begin to straighten that back leg. Maybe just a little. Engage the quad. Still bending that front knee. And still opening it over the second and third toe. Another big breath here. And then the back heel goes to warrior two. So your hips open. Your torso faces the long edge of the mat. Your back foot might be at 90 degrees. We're bending that front knee and opening the front knee over the second and third toe. And then humble warrior with eagle arms. Your head goes in your hand. Your right shoulder sneaks inside that right knee. And you're opening that right knee a smidge. And you're noticing sensation. Noticing the breath. Noticing if there's thought patterns that arise when you feel sensation. There's emotional patterns arise when you feel sensation. Such good information. And then keeping your eagle arms facing the long edge of the mat. Both feet turn to face the long edge of the mat. You're folding forward. Head in the hands the best you can. There can always be a slight bend to the knees here. And then heel, toe, until the heels are out, in and the toes are out. You bend your knees and from the ground up. Goddess with eagle arms, nice. Lifting all of the toes you have, feeling weight in your heels. And then bringing the toes down, lifting your heels. And then star pose, release it all. Reach the arms up, legs straight, breathe in. Warrior two toward the front, Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, down dog your way. And then, my dears, we're going to shift forward into plank and lower all the way slowly to the ground. Shift forward into plank, lower down, 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 down to the ground. Great. And then bend your knees and reach your hands back and see if you can reach for your feet. And for a moment, just draw your heels in towards your booty and tuck your tail. And then see if maybe you can sneak your hands down more towards your ankles. Keep doing the same thing, just flex your feet. Slightly tuck your tail. You feel your quads stretching? Breathe. Now kick the feet into the hands and lift your heart, maybe lift your knees, bow pose. We're staying for 5, 4, flexing your feet if possible, 3, 2, last breath, kick, 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 and then come down, keep holding your feet and draw your heels in towards your booty, and tuck your tail, tuck your tail. Release your left leg. Keep your right leg how it is. Straighten your left leg on the floor. Walk your right fingertips down towards your ankle more. Flex that right foot. Tuck your tail under. Bring your left foot up. Grab hold of the ankle. Release the right leg. Flex the left foot. Tuck the tail. Draw the heel in. Round your knee down. Great. Release that side. Hands out in front. Reaching forward like a long prostration, forehead down. Take a few deep breaths here. Then lift your right arm and your left leg. Place those down. Switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Place those down. Both arms, both legs, and your head. Now open your legs wide, arms wide. Inhale. Squeeze it all together. Exhale. Open, inhale. Squeeze it all together. Exhale. One more. Open, open. Lift your heart. Nice. Squeeze it all together. Squeeze it all together. Reach forward. Squeeze your arms together, your legs together. And come down. Child's pose. And rolling over onto your back. Bend your knees, place your feet flat. Walk your heels in so you can touch them. Grab the edges of your mat, curl your forefingers under and your thumbs on top. Lift your hips, push into your feet, lift your hips. And now bring your heels a little bit wider than your toes, just a tiny bit wider than your toes, yep. Wiggle your shoulders underneath you. You might stay holding the mat or release that and interlace your fingers behind your back, whatever works for your body. That's possible, great, awesome. Feel the support of your shoulders in this bridge pose, yeah? So my invitation is to let go of your butt a little bit. Let go of the glutes a little bit and feel your quads. Feel your quads, the thighs, the front of the thighs. So of course the glutes will engage. That's what they do. They like to do it. But we're trying to release them just a little so the quads can have their place here. Now, can you shift high on your tiptoes? Heels up. Great. Your heels down, release your hands, keep your hips up, place your hands by your ears. See if you can push into your hands and shift just to the crown of the head, just to the crown of the head. Now make sure your heels are a tiny bit wider than your toes. Feel the power and the strength in your legs. You might stay here or push into your hands and lift your head up. From here, you might shift high onto your tiptoes. Draw your heart forward, 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 yes. And then maybe placing your heels down, heels wide, yes. Keep drawing your heart forward. Take a deep breath in, long breath out. You might stay here or you might lift your right leg. Deep breath in, long breath out. If you've gone that far, you might place that foot down and lift your left leg. Take a deep breath in, long breath out. Bring the foot down, come down, come down, come down. Walk your feet wide, put your butt on the floor, knees together, right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. Breathe. Windshield wiper your legs side to side, side to side. Feet are wide. They're as wide as the edges of the mat. Knees, windshield wiper. And then the next time the knees are over to the right, keep them there. Take your right foot and place it on your outer left thigh. Draw that knee toward the earth. Yeah, it could be way down by the knee, actually. We're just trying to draw that left knee toward the earth. Draw the belly in, yeah? And then if you like having your hands on your belly and your heart, great. Otherwise, they could be out in a T shape for more stability. And then release that side. Feet are wide to the edges of the mat. Windshield wiper the legs side to side. Next time they're over to the left, keep them there. And then you might pick up your left foot and place it on your outer right thigh, down by the knee, drawing the knee toward the earth a little, belly in, lower back long. And my dears, knees draw into your chest. Give yourselves a little squeeze, a little hug. Do a few knee circles one direction, a few the other. And then allow yourselves to rest. Shavasana, corpse pose. This flow today was inspired by Paloma wanting to feel her quads. And so whenever I think about the legs, I can't help but think about the element of earth and being grounded and present and staying the course, like staying with what's not comfortable, learning to breathe, taking deep notice of how we walk upon the earth, of the path we're walking on, noticing who joins us for a moment on the paths we're walking, all those kind of things. And I have the deep privilege to be here on Whidbey Island. South Whidbey State Park is only 3 miles from my house, and I like to walk in the woods there. There's 500-year-old cedars there. It's incredible. It feels almost untouched to me. Like it feels like there's still the magic of the forest there. So close to my home. And so this poem came to mind by Mary Oliver that I thought I would share. It's called Sleeping in the Forest. I thought the earth remembered me. She took me back so tenderly, arranging her dark skirts, her pockets full of lichens and seeds. I slept as never before, a stone on the riverbed. Nothing between me and the white fire of the stars but my thoughts. And they floated light as moths among the branches of the perfect trees. All night I heard the small kingdoms breathing around me, the insects and the birds who do their work in the darkness. All night I rose and fell as if in water, grappling with a luminous doom. By morning, I had vanished at least a dozen times into something better. I love that poem because I love the line, she arranging her dark skirts, her pockets full of lichens and seeds. Mother Earth just enveloping us, letting us come up to her great lap and sleep. And all the while we have these thoughts, we have these dreams, we have these visions. And sometimes we're grappling with a luminous doom. Sometimes that comes out in our conscious thought, often it comes out in a dream state. All right, idea of all night I rose and fell as if in water. By morning, vanishing at least a dozen times into something better. I think that speaks to the message of today's class. Our thoughts rise and fall, just like our breath rises and falls. Our emotions rise and fall. Even our narratives rise and fall. For me, it's a powerful practice that I learned from Sean Korn to really stay present in the practice when the narratives arise. It's such a gift. It doesn't feel like it, but it's such a gift to notice the patterns of our thought, how we speak to ourselves when things get challenging. And we just breathe, accept it all in, let it all be there, and breathe. And that's the training to create more peace. That's it. Learning to breathe when we feel struggle. Learning to observe our narratives when we feel struggle. That's the whole practice. We do it enough times on the mat. It becomes more common off the mat for us to take pause. Notice what's happening for us. Sensations do we feel? What thoughts or emotions are present? What narratives are playing out? Take a moment to breathe and calm and center and ground ourselves. Come back to what is true and take action from that place. When you're ready, we'll return to a seat. And as we sit up tall, palms return once again to our heart, feeling gratitude for this body exactly as she, he, they are. Gratitude for the privilege and the honor to walk a path together, even in parts, on this incredible earth at this potent time. One Om together, deep breath. In the spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Irin, Shiakan, Jam, Pache, Paz. In the spirit of our collective liberation, we say Aho, Ashe, Amin, Amen, blessed be. Kapu Aloha, in Lakach, Satnam, Namaste, Black Lives Matter.